Hello, 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 hello. Look at me. It's your favorite worm. Hi, I'm back. Hello. How are we all this morning? What's going on in the wide world of the internet? The web that is as wide as the web, the world. Yeah. Ooh, oh, that's cool, that's cool. Okay. So yeah, hi, hello. I need to get my timer started. We gotta get started on that before I forget. Hang on, I'm gonna resume the sub. There it goes. Yeah, we still got 59 hours. What emoji is that? It doesn't even load. Like it doesn't show on Twitch, and it doesn't even show in the chat thing here. So I have no idea what that's supposed to be. just bacon void. I assume it's a worm. For whatever reason, you're just trying to be an ass. Yeah, it's me, obviously. Of course. It's fine. I probably deserve it. My Oshi mark, bacon void. I swear to God, I will come in there and I will force you to watch cutscenes. I'll do it. I'll strap you to the chair while I play Warframe lore in front of you. For 6 hours. Speaking of Warframe lore, holy shit, Tennocon this year was crazy. Like, can we talk about that? 1999 and everything? Like, oh my God. I mean, we knew we were going to 1999. We knew that was going to be a part of a thing. We knew we were going to be... Oh, no, not cutscenes. We knew we were going to be piloting some of the proto-frames. And we were expecting at least Excalibur, Mag, and Volt, though if they added others, it was a bit of a surprise. And it was a bit of a surprise. I am surprised they added the new Warframe that's not out yet, Cyto 9, as one of the proto-frames. I think that's pretty cool. Makes them relevant. But like, enemy faction isn't Grineer or Corpus or... well, there is Infested there, but there's also just, like, regular humans. There's just regular people there now. Just normal human beings. I actually... what I want to do... Hello? There's a fucking flightless fruit fly on my microphone. What the fuck? Hello? Get fucked. Where did you come from? Well, he's dead now. Wait, I don't... Where would he have come from? I don't keep food in here. He must have wandered in with the weather being shit lately. We get... oh my God, we get a lot of that. We get a lot of that. Our house backs up to, like, some brush. Like, some really, really good ground cover. And that, you know, that keeps things nice and pretty. But it's also a great place for the giant fucking cockroaches to hang out. Like, the big fucking cockroaches. And when it gets hot, they start coming indoors. There's no food here and there's no water, but it's cool, nice and cool, so they come indoors. Hey. If I could burn it all down, I would. Heh. We had a thunderstorm yesterday. Don't ask how. How? What do you mean, don't ask how? It's... it's what happens when water evaporates into the atmosphere, mixes with dust to form clouds, and then the clouds generate friction. Ow! What do you mean? Ugh. What do you mean by smag? Just out here getting bullied. I show up and get bullied. It's what I do. Oh, tabletop simulator. Ah. Huh, okay. We'll see how that goes. I want to spend today going over Tennocon because I wanna go back over the showcase stream, specifically the gameplay moments, and like I want to pick it apart and what we're seeing there, because I've had some new thoughts about stuff we've seen, and there were a couple many things I missed on the first watch through because I was too busy being a streamer. So I want to pop this bad boy open. All right, I can't grab the edge. I have to scroll. Oh shit! It's hang on. What? It's right. Huh? It literally what I was gonna go search for is right here. Have I even watched Warframe stuff on this browser? I have. I have watched a little bit of Warframe stuff. That is okay. Fair enough.
December 31st,
okay.
1999. Let's say goodbye to the...
So, what I want to talk about here is I love how they start referencing online right out of the gate, and that becomes a reoccurring theme throughout the stream, because online is the boss fight at the end.
Old year with a track you all know and love from Global Sensation Online.
And I love them being a parody of NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. I love it so much. And the music has been slapping. I've been listening to that on repeat. Now, right out of the gate, we have some interesting stuff. And I talked about it before, but I want to go over it again. Yeah, Arthur Nightingale, squad leader. All right, right here. Batch. Excalibur. He's from the Excalibur batch? Does that mean that there were potentially more at one point? I don't learn so much from live dice. I want to be fully armed in an armchair. But like Batch, he's from the Excalibur batch. I think that's interesting. Oh yeah? And then we hear the pager, and as soon as we hear the pager, his arm starts acting on its own. Which, this is a meme. This is going to be a meme format where it's just like, you know, me at 2 a.m. when I'm alone looking up porn. Now, I have lots of thoughts about this. Ember Heirloom Rule 34. Yeah, exactly. But who was the hand? Now, is that our operator using transference to give Arthur the information of where to go to find Albrecht and Trotty because we're also looking for him? Or is that Albrecht and Trotty telling him where to go because he has plans and things? I don't know. I actually don't quite know. And I don't know if there's a way to know. Well, I didn't hear the transference sound when his hand activated, but I did hear the pager. So that could be Entrati telling him to go to Under Mira's Avenue 10 minutes, don't be late, you know? And then this next thing here. Bastard. Okay. That's a CRT monitor. That is curved CRT glass. Do you know how hard it is to break that shit? Whoop. Okay, hang on. Do you know how hard it is to break that shit with anything, with any object? Nevertheless, his fucking hand? Holy shit, dude. Warframes are strong. Clearly, you know. Anyways. And then, I don't think there was anything too crazy that was said in this segment.
Quite like ours.
I don't think there was anything too crazy here in the mall that I wanted to go over. It's a cool voice actor. We got all the Proto-Frame's little personalities.
Everybody knows there's nothing like a delicious slice of Big Bites pizza. And it's perfect just before online hits the stage.
Hang on.
My favorite bite, pepperoni with extra cheese.
Okay, wait. Next thing. So this, right here. This thing. This tunnel. You want to know why this nearly broke on the stream? You want to know why this broke? I'll tell you why. Oh, they cut it. They edited it in the video and they cut it. I bet this is the loading zone for the city tile set. That this tunnel is how you load into the next, you know, how you load from the hub to the city. Because I don't think we're dealing with an open world either. And I also find it interesting that there's a second area you can go to here. That you can turn right. And I wonder what that's about. And I have some thoughts and opinions. Thought and opinion one is that this update is going to be like Whispers in the Walls, where there's two tile sets. You have the city tile set, and then you have the subterranean infested tile set. But it looks like there's two distinct factions, meaning they probably won't be combined like we have with Whispers in the Walls, where the robots and the Murmur work together. This is going to be, I bet there's going to be 2 different kinds of missions you can fire from the city hub, from the mall. Feels cyberpunk a little bit, yeah. And then right here, I'm betting if you chose a mission that goes to the city, you go out forward. But if you chose a mission that goes to the sewers, you swing right during this loading screen. I bet that's what they'll do, because it would be weird to just add this whole ass section right here where it forks and people go that way and then just not use it. Maybe I'm wrong, but it makes sense in my head. And it, like, the city went up and they went down, so. And now that we're in the city, immediately, I was hoping for like an open world, but I'm looking at it and I see walls. These buildings are acting like walls to keep you in the linear path, and there's not a lot of alleyways. Like I said, there's one on the left, and I think there's one up here on the right. So I think this city is a tile set. And the way they can make that work is, you see that quarantine balloon there at the end? Hang on. Whoops. Okay, I went back too far. So you see that quarantine there? That quarantine wall, that their inflatable balloon that they got on that? That's just going to be like, oh, you could have a connected piece of the tile set there, but the way it generated, there's not, so then they put this quarantine wall up saying you can't go that way, instead of just having a locked door like a Grineer Galleon would be. And it's kind of genius, actually, that quarantine walls prevent you from going to parts of the city because it's just a tile set. It's actually kind of brilliant. But I like how this tile set allows you to use a vehicle. It's actually sick. I think we've only got 2 tile sets that let us do that with the Necromech. Now, we need to talk about this because I missed this last time. Major Nessie Rusalka. Role, Skuldra Commander. Armament, Effervon Harness. Effervon. That is significant. And that just may be very, like, super important. Does anyone here know what Effervon is? And where that comes from? I know where that comes from, but I missed it the first time because I didn't see this on the screen when I was busy reacting, and then I didn't hear them say it later, where they actually do say it out loud twice. Like, do you know how incredible just them having Effervon in? Like, straight up calling it Effervon? Class, you failed the test. So Effervon is from Dark Sector, Digital Extreme's previous game when they tried to do Warframe with publisher money, but the publishers wanted Gears of War, Metal Gear Solid. So in that game, you have 2 factions. You fight against the Infested, and you're a guy who's partially infested with magic powers because he's infested, wearing the Excalibur suit. And the military faction there uses a type of gas to try and control the Infested because the Infested is weak to that, and that gas is called Effervon. And now this gas is actually canon here in Warframe. I'm even willing to go as far and say that Saren generates Effervon as part of her abilities. Like, I'd almost go that far and say that much. And when you look at Nessie Rusalka, like, there's a little bit of maybe she could be Saren. If she was turned into a Warframe, she would turn into Saren, maybe. But like, damn, she's also hot. But there's another thing here that I want to point out. Her right arm is mechanical. Now, cyberpunk dystopian future, you know, that's just a thing. But I wonder, it's longer than her left arm. What else is longer? What other creatures in Warframe's lore has right arms longer than their left arms? The Orokin. I wonder if she becomes so powerful in 1999 that when the Orokin Empire is founded, they model their perfect bodies with that asymmetrical right arm off of her.
I've an order.
This is all, that's just a theory. Oh my god, when I see her get on the bike like that, she looks more like Saren now.
Kill on sight.
Like with her thighs and everything, she looks like Saren when she boarded that bike. Now, there's nothing too crazy here. We see more Effervon gas. And now that we know that, and now that we know what that is, we know that Effervon is super effective against Warframes, because Warframes are made of infested. My god, fuck you. It's probably just corrosive in-game. But, like, these are just normal-ass dudes. I do like the little city square here. Like, Meg could have gone right and taken the road. See this road here in the bottom right that goes back? Like, that connects at a right angle to where they were previously. But you can cut through the city square on foot if you wanted to, which I think is cool. I am a little disappointed by the tiles I've seen so far here in 1999. Not because they look bad. They look gorgeous. They look fantastic. But I kind of wanted more of that rooftop parkour going on, because Warframe's movement system would be fantastic in a city setting. And I'm just not seeing that in the tiles they have shown us, save for one a little further ahead. Because right now, these tiles are not... I bet there's an invisible wall. You can't get to the top of those buildings.
Welcome to the world of 1999.
And, like, trying to parkour here, I can get on top of, you know...
You are in...
whatever that is on the left, that vehicle, like maybe jump on a sign or a light post.
Like, unlike other levels in Warframe, it's important that every Warframe player, during the point of this quest, can summon their very own Atomi cycle on demand.
I don't see rooftops I can post up on, you know? There's one on the right. I bet you can get on that one that they just passed on the right. I don't know. I hope there's more rooftop tiles than what we're seeing. It looks like you can post up on what's over here on this quarantine.
My soldier, put that thing down.
And again, I am loving the Half-Life Alyx vibes that this gives. It's giving Half-Life Alyx. Now, here we go. Now, this is a bigger tile. As you can see, the walls are further, you know, there are these buildings that are stuck together. But there's buildings here in the middle, and these you can post up on. And this is why I really want a city set for Warframe, because the parkour system is perfect for this kind of environment. Which is weird to think that you know, this parkour system that's old as shit, that doesn't have a city set, can work here. And, like, there's all this area up here that you can jump up on top of, too. So I hope we get more of whatever this tile is doing. I hope we get a lot more of it that we just haven't seen yet. I like the environmental damage when he shoots open the Effervon canister down there at the bottom. She mentioned, yeah, she says Effervon out loud. I didn't even notice it during the stream. Now, this is funny that there's just a vehicle that rolls up on you. I don't know if that's part of the quest, or if that's like a thing where you can run into enemy vehicles that will chase you down on your bike, because that would be cool. They have streets, so they can make vehicle pathing. Haha, funny quest moment.
Iced them. Too slow, Arthur.
I had it under control.
I love how Arthur and Quincy just have beef. Yeah, see, you can go on, if you take the road, you could have gone left there. But I bet this area lets you cut through. Yeah, see, there they go. They're looking at the screen to reference online again. See, he's going to turn left here and meet up with the road. Yep. So this looks entirely traversable by bike.
By this time next year, nothing will remain of you slugs.
Now, this is interesting. Once again, referencing online. That's that stadium, right?
Time next year.
It's kind of hard to tell what building that is from here, but that looks like a stadium. It's kind of tall. So how does that get into present day Warframe. That has to time travel somehow. That whole building. Right?
Nothing will remain of you slugs.
Oh, another thing they did that was really clever. Another thing they did. I believe the devs wanted to like clearly establish that the Orokin Empire is not yet real. And how they did that is they had the camera pan up to show the moon. The moon has not been terraformed. The Orokin city is not on there yet. There is no Orokin Empire in Ba Sing Se. So this is pre-Empire.
Meet the co-star of your...
Oh yeah. And then I want to take a point. There's another thing to that duality religion that we see out of hang on. Out of the people here of 1999 is that, you know, the religion before the Orokin was of duality. You know, everything is of two things, of mind and body, of matter and the void and stuff like that. And here we see scales of the sun, of soul and Lua, because that it seems to be another version of this religion here.
Grand finale. An
The sun and the moon.
Effervon tank.
Here she says Effervon tank out loud, and I completely missed it. I find it funny though, because in Dark Sector, the tank unit they had there was actually just a jackal, like the Corpus Jackal you could pilot.
Requesting assistance.
It's cool that we got a tank though. But with them referencing Effervon so heavily here, I don't know if this is like a spiritual successor to Dark Sector, or they could just canonize Dark Sector here. It's entirely possible they just canonize it. This fight is cool. I like this, that it spawns ads like this. And then it spawns ads that do like AoEs you have to dodge. I think that's super cool. I love these balloon enemies. I like the way they blow up. What was I gonna say? Dark Sector happens at the end of the Cold War. So that's like, I think like 20 year, you know, within a decade or two of this game. So it's not unreasonable that this is the same strain of infestation here. That's just evolved. And we'll cover the infestation in a bit, because there's stuff I missed too. Or want to further elaborate on during my reaction.
Found a hole in its shield offer. Thanks, Quincy.
Here we get the rocket launcher. The rocket launcher's cool.
Don't mind if I do.
You pick it up kind of like Call, where you... I guess it's equipped in the heavy slot? I'm not sure. He's still got the AK on his back. Don't roll left. The Dark Souls nerd in me got me really... Like, I got sad when I saw that. Okay, now. There's a bug here. The bug is that once the tank gets to a low enough health bar, you're supposed to paras on it like you do the Jackal. But if you look at its health bar, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. If you look at its health bar up here, it's hard to see. There's still literally 1 health left. So there's a bug that made the tank enter its finisher animation, but it didn't do the finisher prompt, and so Megan's running around it like, do the thing, do the thing, do the thing. Then she shoots it, that gets rid of that 1 health, and then it works. I thought that was funny. And this is, you know, this is the upsides and downsides of doing Tennocon live. Like, this is not, they didn't like polish this. They're working on it still. This is the raw video game. It's gonna have tech issues, you know? Fall through the floor. When you fall through the floor, it looks like you enter the subterranean tile set, and then immediately there's infestation. I love Eleanor here. A crownless king clad in gold. And a pallid beast licking his head. Fucking, like, wow, that is poetry. Who talks like that, you know? I've also noticed something with Eleanor. I think she's just mute. I think she objectively is mute and has to use her Nyx powers to communicate. Okay. So of course we see Kalimos. Kalimos kind of looks like it's beckoning us. And then there's Albrecht. Now what he does here is super weird. Where did he go? How did he do that?
Arthur!
What tech is he using to disappear?
What the hell was that? Where are you? Come
You know?
He's here, deep in the tech rut.
And this is what I find interesting. Earlier, Arthur talked about the arcade cabinet saying, oh man, it would suck if these got infested. But now, we're referring to it as tech rot. And I think this begins to explain more as to what's going on. The infestation is both a biological plague and a technological plague. It infects both equally. In Warframe, we didn't see it infecting technology until Allied V unlocked the Mutalisc strain. But according to the lore, Allied V didn't give it that potential. He found that potential already within the infestation and just unlocked what was already there. So this is an earlier strain of the infestation. It's more primordial and less put together, but it infects technology and it likes to focus on that. I'm thinking that the Y2K bug is kind of what's causing the infestation to go rampant. I'm thinking it's got something to do with that. The infestation seems to be trying to download its personality from the technology it consumes. And we'll see more examples of that later on.
Good night.
But I think this is a really cool version of the infestation. Yeah, this is also giving Half-Life Alyx, but it's, you know, it's infested. I kind of like those little enemies, those bomber ones. Though I did have a thought about the dual tile set scenario with the city and the subterranean. If DE doesn't want to split your choice between doing one or the other, what they could do is kind of what they do here, is that every mission is in two parts. And part one of the mission is you go out, you do the thing in the city, you kill Skaldra and stuff, and then at the end of the air quotes mission, you then enter the subterranean tile set and work your way back to the mall through the subterranean, and then that's how you deal with the infestation down here. Oh, that looks cool.
Arthur,
Okay, this
you're
is
right by a
interesting.
Security terminal.
Bet my butt it's got a coda-worm injector.
A coda-worm injector. Now, this is important for later, but a coda-worm injector. So I'm assuming this is a kind of infestation that you can inject a, air quotes, worm into the infestation and then control it, because it's like you're patching a virus into that.
You want to risk it to control some tech rot?
Well,
Now, I think
let's
Megan
find
deliberately
out then.
screws up here.
Needs must and all that.
I think she screws up on purpose. I love this, though. I love how it's playing the Sanctum theme. Now, I think, it says breach failed, coda worm injected. I think no matter what, if you succeed or fail, the coda worm injects. But if you fail it, there's consequences. And I think we see those consequences in a minute. Yeah, we start killing some infested and stuff because they were alerted by the failure of the breach. I do like how you can hear them smacking the gate. Now, I'm still cooking on this, but I have some thoughts. But right before we get to that, what was I going to say about the coda worm? I'm thinking that coda worm is how you start the process to create an infested Glytch. That's what I'm thinking. That's how that works. And I'm thinking that even this thing, whatever it is, might be involved. Or this might be the coda worm. I'm not sure what this is, though. Okay. Now, I think this is super interesting. As soon as we approach this pillar, Arthur's got something in his head. We can enter his head with transference, though it fucks him up. And then as soon as we resist it, this happens. Or as soon as he resists it, this happens. Fucking Gravemind looking ass. why would the infestation spit out a warframe? Warframes are made of infestation, but they're made of a very, very particular strain. And this version of the infestation is not that, as far as I am aware. Now, Albrecht and Trotty has been experimenting with Balas's Helminth strain to make the proto-frames, like, you know, Arthur and Owie and, you know, everyone else we've seen at Hex. But why would that just spit out a perfectly good warframe? And I have some thoughts. How do we time travel to this era successfully? Well, for us, I think we'd have to use transference, correct? But then, how does that get our character into 1999? Once we transference out, we end up back in our real world. I wonder, then, if we don't get Albrecht from his side to program a Helminth infestation to then make us a warframe we can latch onto. And I wonder if that's what this is. Again, lots of speculation here, but I believe that warframe is us as the player. For this reason alone.
Follow you.
That was that guitar riff, that motif is from This Is What You Are, the main theme of Warframe and the theme of the Tenno, as us as a player. But also the song is This Is What You Are, which is also like a directly showing Arthur this is what he is. And I think it's a really, really good callback to the second dream. Y'all feel me? Arthur pulls his sword first because he doesn't know what to think, and we respond. I'm thinking that's us still. Now, I wonder if this doesn't change in the quest, and they just put this as like a stinger. I wonder if they just put this here to be like, ooh, Tennocon, ooh, you know? But they don't change it when we get to the quest, and it's something else.
Well,
like maybe the drifter pops out. I was
you
like, whoa, 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 whoa.
1999
You know?
has its fair share.
Lots of speculation.
Of mysteries, a world not quite. Oh.
Now, I've got lots to cook on here. That right there was a lot. Oh, I can't do precise, I can't use my comma and period keys on the in-browser feature here. It doesn't work. Okay, first, it says years later in the origin system. Centuries later in the origin system. Millennia later in the... So it goes from, you know, years to hundreds of years to at least 1,000. And then they don't know because Warframe is being very cagey with its timeline. And I like that. I appreciate that. But that kind of gives it away that it's at least been more than 1,000 years since 1999. And probably more, as the Orcan Empire has been destroyed for even more than that. And the Orcan Empire could have been thousands of years after 1999. We could be in like the year 4000 for all we know. But it has been such a long time that the Orcan Empire, it just by itself, since its foundation, whoops, sorry, there was something I had to, there we go, I finally got that fly. Since its foundation, the Orcan Empire existed for so long, it was broken up into eras. 4 eras. There was a Lith era, there is a Meso era, a Neo era, and an Axie era. That's a long fucking time. Human history today is recorded in 2 eras, BC and AD. Holy shit, you know? And then who knows how long it took to go from 1999 to the first era of the Orcan Empire. Who knows? It could have been the year 2001. It could have been the year 60,000. Who knows?
Tenno, welcome back.
Now, we're in present-day Warframe. I like how they're using the Skana skin and they've got the AK, or the AX, excuse me.
Our instruments are jammed.
But this is clearly the tech brought from 1999. If you look around, there are satellites of that era.
Towers.
like normal human-era satellites. There's a speaker tower there that's somehow transmitting sound through space. Don't worry about it.
Keep showing us your support.
It got pointed out to me last time, but I missed it. But there's, like, in the bottom right, there's buses, or bottom right, bottom left, there's buses floating around here in space. Because this shit got, I believe, a section of land got upheaved and dragged into the future. And that's what this is. Again, there's another bus.
One more passive-aggressive smile. I'm gonna snap.
Now, the way that what we're hearing, I think, is super interesting.
Beat drop. Arcwing cannon online.
Or it just was there for a bit.
Stage.
No, I think this got I think we saw this stadium in 1999 in the background. I think this was a part of the skybox, and then I think it got dragged into the future because, like, there's part of the there's bedrock underneath it. Something teleported this whole fucking stadium into the future, and I don't know what or why. Because so far the rules for time travel in Warframe have been pretty contained. There's a couple different ways to do it, but they've all been they've had limitations. Like Albrecht and Trotti's labs. He can create devices that can pull things out of the past and send them back to their timeline. He's created a device that can send him back and forward through time. Then there's the Tenno. The Tenno can use transference, and transference is transferring your mind and body through the void onto a surrogate, meaning it doesn't have to be at the same time, and Albrecht abuses that to allow us to transfer into Arthur, thousands of years in the past. So we can mentally time travel to a place we physically cannot go to, as Tenno. And then there's a couple other fun time travel-y bits using the void, like Eternalism and stuff, where you can access alternate timelines. It doesn't seem like that's something that people can do willingly yet, or maybe did not develop that technology enough. And the closest they got may have been the way Relics works, since Relics are like a Schrodinger's box of superpositions of what's allowed to be inside them until you crack them open. That may use Eternalism. It sounds similar, but we don't know. And I think that covers most of the time travel options in Warframe. So then, what the fuck is the stadium doing here? This is too large for any of Albrecht's machines to pull out of time. Something else happened. And I can't imagine what. But this has not just been in orbit of Earth this long. There's no way. They're not going to because the infestation it's preserved. The infestation would have totally consumed everything if this was the oldest thing in the solar system. There would be no stadium left, especially because things like metals and stuff will actually break down. Like, if we go through, if let's say society right now stops, and humans just disappear from the Earth, it would take about 3,000 years, but there would be no sign of humans ever living here. There would be no sign of cities, roads, none of that. It would all evaporate. Everything made of metal would rust. Everything made of concrete would be weathered down. There would be no signs of human life. This stadium did not survive that long. It's pulled through time. For sure. Especially because if you look at it, the infestation on it, the infestation is fresh, and there's trees on the right. See those trees on the right side? No, this station is fresh. This is a fresh station. It got teleported through time. How, I don't know. And how it got thrown into space, I don't even know. But it's here. I like having infested railjack sections now. I don't know if they'll give us like a whole, I don't know if they'll give us sectors. I don't know, maybe we don't get like an expanded star chart. But for the infested liches, maybe we just get this one mission. But it's 1999 infested. It's these proto-infested stuff. It's not as advanced as the current day infestation. So what I like about it is because the infestation is different strains. They kind of self-compete with each other. They're not cooperative. So this version of the infestation would not be able to take root in present-day Origin system. They specialize in infecting older technology, and they're not as powerful as, like, you know, the regular Technocyte strain, or the Gray strain, or the Mutilus strain, or the Arlo strain. Like, those would be way more powerful and would outcompete this strain of the infestation all day, every day. I think that would be fun. I think that's fun. I think that's a fun way to have, like, this infestation not get out of control in present day, but still be a threat back in the day, because it thrives. It's a big fish in a small pond, you know. It thrives back in its heyday, but now when you put it in another environment with more powerful predators and higher competition, it wouldn't survive here, except for in this one place that gets teleported through time, where they still live.
All right.
They're just transplanted here. I think it's cool.
Maybe that little infested worm from 1999 has festered.
That Coda worm. I wanna. She said she's talking about that. That Coda worm from the hacking bit. That's why I think the Coda worm is how you make an infested lich. Is that you generate it in 1999, and then it incubates, and then becomes an infested lich in present day.
Right. So as you met all of the proto frames,
this is cool. What's about to happen here is super cool, actually.
Give you a new tier of cosmetic.
Yeah, hold on.
With the release of the proto frames, you will have the option to have Warframes Ever 2 fashion frames in one mission with a custom
I know she meant to say
emote
Warframes
with a
first
fully
ever,
voiced
but
Gemini skin.
So the Gemini skin is going to be for 6 Warframes. Oh shit, big thunderstorm rolling in. But 6 Warframes are getting a Gemini skin. And that's of course going to be Excalibur, Mag, Volt, Side09, Trinity, and Nyx. And I think that's super cool that you can have a fashion for each of them and they're totally different. I wonder how far I can push this, because I like the fact that I can have my Excalibur Umbra, my Zato skin as my main, and then I can Arthur up as a second fashion, and then just use an emote to switch between them both. I think that's cool. I think that's super cool. I hope, and we don't have to get this, but I hope we can also change the skin on the Gemini skin. It sounds weird to say that, and I don't think we'll get that. But I would love to be able to swap, like, Arthur's body out for the protocol skin. You know, so I can make him look like Hayden Tenno. I hope we can get that much stuff. Because then I would love to have my, you know, my 1999 loadout and then my present day loadout and be able to go back and forth.
Every frame you met today has one, including Nyx, Trinity, Volt, Mag, Side09, and Excalibur, and we will also be touching up Nyx and Trinity light rework.
Nyx and Trinity reworks are, you know, that's pretty cool, and the crowd thinks that's cool too. I also hope that switching out the skin changes the weapon cosmetics for, like, you can choose what the weapons look like on each version. It would be, like, that's a lot to do, but I hope we get that, because I would love to have the present day, like, the AX52, I would love to have that, like, have a present day skin, and then when I switch to Arthur, it just becomes normal. Like the Paracesis, you know, I have it look like a Paracesis on my Umbra, but if I switch to Arthur, it looks like that Grineer Butcher skin that looks like it could be it from 1999. I want that really bad. I don't think we'll get it, but I want it. Okay. Zeke.
Are you having a good time?
Hey, so that was loud. Update, guys. If my stream suddenly goes dark, we lost power. Holy shit! Like, big thunderstorm rolling in. The house shook from that one. Holy shit. But yeah. So I could lose power. Who knows? But like, this is interesting. I don't think this is random. I think the infestation has quote-unquote downloaded the personality of online, like, because it's viral. Get it? And it doesn't have a hive mind, you know, or it's still in like a premature hive mind. It's not advanced enough to think like current day infested, so it can really only communicate with what it subsumes, and all it subsumed so far is 90s level technology.
Don't take this out on me.
I also wonder, because it showed all 5 of them, I wonder if it gives you a hint as to what kind of lich you're going to have by only shining one of those screens, and one of those screens corresponds to the version of the lich you're going to end up with. I think that's super cool. I hope that's how they do that. And then this being a boss arena is just gonna be sick. This is gonna be the coolest boss arena in the game. Like, there's no way this isn't just awesome, right? And here's another thing. Like, there's no way that this has been here for centuries. I believe this was pulled through time. First of all, the electricity's still working. I assume the infestation's just powering this stuff. But secondly, all the electronics function. None of it's burned out. And in good condition. But I love how, like, the infestation using music to kind of put, like, you know, to kind of go viral, to kind of get inside your head. I love that, conceptually. We've had the infestation try multiple different tactics to, you know, infest and control the origin system. One of the big ones was, you know, consuming an AI called Jordas, and then, you know, having Jordas lure us in as, like, bait on a string. Poor Jordas didn't want to do it, but he was infested. He couldn't help it. Then there was the Arlo infestation. That was another big one, where the infestation got so advanced, it turned itself into a religion and formed a small cult, and then attacked the origin system. I think that's super cool. And then, since this older infestation doesn't have a lot of tricks up its sleeve, the way it's going to work is using music to be like, you know, kind of get that brainworm in your ear. And maybe that's what draws you in. And then we see the we see this, which is crazy. Hi, Nemu. Yeah, we got a storm rolling in. I'll be safe, but earworm, you mean? Yeah. Big old earworm. So here's the infested liches. They're called Technocyte Coda. Technocyte being the technical term for the infestation. The Zeke Online virus. Now, that's a mouthful. So what are you going to call them? Are you going to call them the online infestation? Because when it comes to the Grineer, we just call them Kuva liches. When it comes to the Corpus, we call them Sisters of Parvos. Or just Sisters for short. What is this? What are we going to call this? Coda? Also, for those who play Magic the Gathering, this is just the Phyrexian Praetors. Like, this is just the like Rebecca Ford, the creative director of Warframe, plays Magic. She just made the Phyrexian Praetors enemies in Warframe and then turned them into a boy band. Look at this. How are you doing today, Nem? You getting ready for your stream? You doing big girl things? You up to some hot girl shit? And by that I mean like mac and cheese. Oh god, I could go for some mac and cheese. I got some mac and cheese in the cabinet actually, but I think that's super neat. Yeah, and then we get the release date. We get 3 updates this year. Hot girl summer shit indeed. Yes, yeah. I have a lot of thoughts about this. Yeah, see, and look, here's what the Infested is doing. See these speakers? On the left side, the Infested has ripped these speakers out from other technology and has like mounted it to itself to try and play this music through it. I think that's how this version of the Infestation's spreading. It's through music. And like there's a bunch of cables here that's like wound into the Infestation. I think that's why they call it Tech Rod in 1999, because it specializes in technology. Like old tech. I got out of the shower, been lurking. Aw. Well, thanks for the lurk. I appreciate you. And then I keep wanting to call him Strega for some reason. I don't know why. But the new faction has like some spyware that infects computers whenever shit appears that they don't like. So I think that's super interesting with how 1999 is going to go down. Lots to think about. And I hope some of my speculation is correct. I hope some of it's wrong too. But of course we need to see more before we get there. Before we get 1999 though, we're getting 2 other updates. We get one next month. So like 30 in no more than 38 days from now, we're getting another update called Lotus Eaters. As far as I can tell, that's going to be a smaller update and probably won't have much content wise. Imagine they change the stories just to spite. Imagine. But I think that's what would make sense.